Hey, everybody. I can't believe we're already back again for this week's podcast episode, but I'm thrilled to introduce my amiga, my friend, Ana Diaz.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Oh my God. I'm excited to be here. What can I say?
It's so fun for me because I get all excited when I am talking to somebody and we're having a conversation and I think, oh my God, this would be the best podcast episode. You should come on the podcast. And it's fun because I've had a couple people look at me and be like, yeah, no, absolutely not. One of them I'm flabbergasted, but she's like, that's just not my thing. So it's exciting to me when I feel the vibe and I think it's going to be a good thing. And then I reach out and the person goes, oh my God, yes.
Yes.
So
yeah, for me, I mean, my thoughts was like, how much filter do we need to?
I always joke, the team here is amazing. And I tell them that I look much better here on camera than I do anywhere else. So I try to take most pictures here.
Okay. Yes. So filters for sure. Now, speaking ones, we'll see.
Right. There might be a lot, at least here. I do drop the F-bomb when appropriate. I just speak my mind. And so since it's YouTube and whatnot, like I don't get beeped out. If I was on live TV, it'd be a problem.
That's good. I mean, come on. We've done chats and
I'm the person, well, you know that when you call me and I'm like, you're on speaker. I always tell people like, you're on your own. If you didn't warn me, it's your fault.
True.
So I love starting each episode with my guests, sharing basically how I met this individual or how our paths crossed or whatever, because I think, you know, I talk a lot about how different relationships are, some are for seasons and some are for a lifetime. Yes. But I love sharing how I met people in kind of that season. And so AJ had been in private school and we did St. Clement's and then we were at St. Mark's during COVID because I wanted to do public school, but they weren't going back to school and I had to work. So we stayed in private, but I ended up moving AJ for middle school because I thought it's now or never. And so I moved AJ to Wiggs. And it was, you and I've joked about it. It was a little bit of a culture shock, but it's been phenomenal. It's been the best experience. And that's where I met you.
Yes.
So I was there and Kelly and Soraya had invited me to come help at some PTA thing. And I was laughing because I used to refer to myself as the PTA imposter because they'd give me a shirt or whatever and I'd show up and sell stuff or do whatever. But I could never really, I always joined PTA, but I could never commit to like a role because my travel schedule was ridiculous with work. Like everything was nuts. And so I met you. And at the time you were the president of the PTA. Yes. And what I loved about you is my experience prior to that with, I'll just call it the PTA mafia, in my prior lives was this very judgmental group. It was, you know, well, what do you mean you can't join the PTA and come to meetings every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m.? And it was like, well, because I'm running hospitals in multiple markets, so I can't do that. And I loved the fact that you also were a crazy career-driven, very, very, very busy mom who then somehow amazingly filled the role of PTA president.
Oh, girl. I mean, what can I say? You know, and I always love sharing the story. And I told you, the day that my son's kindergarten teacher told me, oh, you're Jose's mom. We love his grandma. Like guilt trip hit me. And I was like, I need to be here. I need to do something. Like, I don't want to be known like, oh, here you are, you know?
Yep.
And that's when I was like, I have to find a way. And I mean, you know that it's like the village is like my mom is saying whether she likes it or not. Right. You know, my husband was there. And that's how I started PTA. And it's true because when I first joined was in the elementary school. And it was a battle, you know, like everybody was like either they had their own business or they had their flexible hours or they were stay-at-home moms or anything. So that's why I made it kind of a journey that is like we can all support each other. We can just do our own little things that we're good at. You know, if we don't have enough time, maybe you can do communications because that's easy. You don't have to be here. You know, and it was a change that went through the years. But I kept like I loved it and I loved doing that. And I did it at Western Hills for elementary school. Then somehow I ended up doing it for council level, so at the district wise, you know. And it was
of course you did.
It was the year post COVID, so it's just like, oh my God, wow, I got myself into like, what the hell's going on here? And then I remember going to Wix. Like all I did was literally send an email and I was like, hey, like when is the next PTA meeting? I would like to like check it out.
Yeah.
We'll be moving. And I ended up the president. And I was like, oh my Lord, what are we doing here? Yeah. But, I think that PTA has been the way that I've found a lot of the friends that I have.
Yeah.
And that includes you, like elementary school, I still have one of the bestest friends that she's been amazing. And now that we just went through our loss and everything, like she's been there to our sides. The kids known each other since little. And then now Wix.
It's like extended family.
Yes, and then like Wix with Callie and Soraya, they were my face, and I'm almost sure a lot of teachers still don't know who I am, but don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, and then I met you and, and that's how it comes. And the way that I've always referenced myself is like kind of the Bad Moms movie.
Yeah.
Same. That's like
just real.
Exactly. Let's be real. It makes it everything better. And, and it's for them. So that's why I love it.
Well, you were successful because I will tell you, it changed my perception completely. Because I went from thinking of the PTA mafia that I was accustomed to, hey, you're welcome here. And to your point, like, okay, maybe your company can sponsor an event, or maybe you can't donate time all the time, but you were the first person I came across in my journey as a mom, that allowed me to feel welcome and part of something without having to live and breathe it 24 hours a day. Yeah. And I don't know, I think you knew that I knew Kelly and Soraya from back at St. Clement's. Mm-hmm. They were, the moms of two girls that AJ went to, I guess, kinder through second grade with, and we adored each other. Yeah. And then I moved AJ, couldn't afford St. Clement's, and spousal support and whatever through the divorce and then school. A pay cut during COVID. Yeah. So I ended up moving AJ, and he was at St. Mark's. And so when I had gone, actually, and it's funny because we're close to Valentine's, but I'd gone to a Galentine's Day party, and Kelly and Soraya were there. It was kind of a meeting of the old group. And I walked in and they screamed and we were laughing. And then they said, well, where's AJ going to go to middle school? And I looked at him and I was like, you're going to think I'm nuts and I don't want to hear about it, but I'm moving AJ and we're going to Wiggs. And they started screaming and they were like, shut up. So are we. And it was like, we're all back together. Yeah. So that's where I met you. And that's really where I got kind of the first taste of what I think of when I think of Ana. And that is open arms. How can I help you? How can I lift you? How can I support you? What are you working on? And making everyone feel like they have a contribution to make. Yes. So I can't thank you enough for that and for that opportunity. And I want to talk about, so that's how we met.
Yes.
And then, God, they're 8th graders now. So we're headed to high school next year, but we won't talk about that because I don't want to.
Too early still.
Right. But it's been 3 years going on. And a few months ago, I talk a lot about in life, about, and that, grit, grace, and gratitude. Yeah. And that anything can happen at any given time. And, whether that's losing a job, a divorce, this is something we don't typically talk about. And I remember when it was Kelly that reached out and said, hey, I don't know if you know. And you lost your life partner, your husband. Jose passed.
Yes. So he passed in October.
And I'll cry with you if you get emotional. But
it's, like you said, life is like a journey and there's a lot of griefs and changes. And I mean, I cannot even tell you because I had already experienced griefs in the ways of like losing a baby as a 6 months pregnancy, not a lot of people know that because we always kind of cover in the, it's too much to say, or people don't think it's a lot.
It's not comfortable.
Exactly.
People don't want to know the hard stuff.
And then we experience miscarriages, experiencing the death of my grandmother who raised me, so you think you're prepared and but losing him, and especially unexpectedly, was definitely a change. And I want to say it's like a change because it opened up like everything,
Sure.
you know, like whether it was positive or negative, and losing him was shocking.
Yeah.
And I'm open about it, as far as like I have his picture on my nightstand, and I look at him and I'm like, it just doesn't click, you know, because obviously when you have a divorce, people move out. If you have struggles, you can fight, you can do this, but now it's like, oh, I cannot come and talk to you or like fight with you, you know, or if I go to the closet, his things are there, and I don't feel comfortable moving anything because like it's not right. But it's a work in progress.
Oh my God. How could it not be?
And you know, and honestly, my kids are the ones that are like, when they tell me you're so strong, it's like, no, they are strong. Like I could not even do half of this. Like I literally get up because I know that if they can do it, like, holy crap, I can.
Yeah. Please. If they can get up and go to school,
Exactly.
I can get up and face life.
Yes. You know, especially, I mean, Jojo, my son, he's 14, and he fully has focused his life in football.
Yeah.
So he's so concentrated right now. He's literally like, he did his Instagram and his X account. And
oh my gosh.
I have scouts, and he's like, Mom, I got invited to this. And I love that he's facing it on that, you know, and I'm like, okay. And then my 5-year-old, Ana Sofia, she was a full daddy's girl, you know, but not more than like 3 times since almost 4 months ago he passed, or 4 months. She's missed school, you know, like she gets up and she'll say, I miss my daddy, but she goes, you know, and she's like, oh, remember daddy this, remember daddy that. And I mean, the youngest one, same thing, you know. So they have been definitely the example to follow, you know, with like, if they can take on life and do that, like maybe I should do the same. Maybe I have to do it like that.
Well, I admire you tremendously.
Thank you.
I've shared that with you.
Yes.
I reached out because I waited. I mean, we knew each other well enough that I felt comfortable reaching out, but not well enough that I considered myself part of your inner circle at the time. And that's shifted some, and I'm grateful for that. But I remember when we met, I do the thing on Facebook every year where I post a thing and I say, okay, well, anybody that will repost this and do the same, let's pay it forward, pick somebody and just do something nice. And I thought, you know what? I really want to get to know Ana better. And so I picked you when we went to lunch, and, you know, whatever, I gave you a little goodie bag, but I had the best time at lunch with you because it was this. It was just real conversation, no pretense, no bullshit, just two women talking about life. And when you shared about, you know, people keep telling me how strong I am. And I remember telling you, I've gotten to where I'm very careful about giving that compliment because I do believe now I'm back to where I can say it's a compliment. For a little while, I was like, don't fucking tell me I'm strong. It is meant as a compliment. But the reality is nobody wants to be strong.
No.
Right? Nobody wakes up and goes, oh, I want everyone to think how strong I am.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that lifes and life is gonna life.
Oh,
and
completely.
I won't pretend for an instant. And I tell you that all the time when you vent to me or you talk to me, like I can't understand. And I, you know, on this one, I'm not married. Don't know that I ever will be again. But I cannot imagine that because there's a finality to losing someone literally that isn't part of other types of loss. So divorce is hard, right? But the person didn't exit the universe.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, that person is still physically here. And with Jose, he's not.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I cautiously say how strong you are. But I say it from a place of, I mean, it's awe on my part to see. And it's not, I've seen it when it's not this, right? When it isn't amazing. And so I want to be very cautious and say, people are so judgy about how anybody processes anything. And so I don't want to have you on and people be like, it's only been 4 months and she's on. So screw them, first of all, if somebody's going to be judgy. But the reality is I am watching you navigate this in real time. And the good days and the really humdinger shitty hard ones. And to see a mom have to go through that, I can't, and I've told you, I can't fathom. I know what it was like from a divorce and hiding in the shower and crying at night because I didn't want AJ to know. I cannot even fathom. And knowing that JoJo is at the same school in the same grade and is the same age of AJ, I mean, the resilience that he has shown is incredible.
Yeah.
And he worries about you.
Yes. He's my hero, you know? And, I mean, what can I tell you? Just, he's there. He's always been a mama's boy, and I'll tell you that. Yeah. And he's been amazing. But at the same time, like, one of my main focusing words is telling him, like, I don't want you to feel like because of this, your dreams, the way that you see yourself has to change.
I love that.
You know, and I don't want him to, you know, the same way with the girls. And I think it goes back to, and I was thinking after like everything that we've gone through and everything as far as getting closer and all of it. And like, just like I said, screw what people think. And it's because not just myself as far as in my culture, you know, as being full Mexican American, raising Juarez in here, you know, and everywhere. The imposter syndrome is so hardcore. And it's always like, that's why I'm always sharing memes on my page. And you know that? Because I'm literally the way that is, like, I tell you my story and people are looking at me like, what? You just lived? Because everybody's always pushing you like, oh, well, I suffer this. So what makes you think you're better or you're suffering more? Like if it was a competition, I'm like, who struggled the most or who's suffering the most? Or
who the fuck wants to win that competition?
Exactly, you know, and it's like, it shouldn't be that way.
But people do it all the time.
Exactly. And it's like, if we're all about female empowerment and supporting each other and we have to do better and we're Latinas and we're doing this and we're El Paso strong and everything, is like, then why do we still constantly have that competition as to, well, you had a divorce, well, I'm a widow, who wins now? It's like, that's not how it should go, you know? And that's one of the transitions.
It's a women's thing.
Exactly.
It's a women thing. It drives me freaking nuts. It's a competitive, doesn't matter what it is. We'll even compete to be worse off.
Yes. And it's so crazy.
It's awful.
And, you know, I've always been like, if I like your vibe, if I like what you're doing, I see it inspiring, I want to cheer on that. I want to push it. And I want
other people to know, oh my God, you've been unbelievable with me.
I'm always saying like, and do this with Allie, you know, because I truly see it. And because I always say it, and even career wise and PTA wise, I want to be for others the way that I wish others could be for me. You know, when I would start at UTAP, that my mom felt like she was worth the size because she didn't know English, because at that time she didn't have papers or anything. I didn't want parents for other students to feel that way. So that's why I wanted to dedicate my life at UTAP, at Texas Tech. You know, when first gen students felt like, oh my God, how can I do this? The struggles, the language barriers, anything. I wanted to be like, hey, like, I didn't become a doctor like you did or like you're going to do, but I'm going to be here to share your arm, to help you. And that's always how I did it. But with Jose's passing, you know, I tell you, the band just kind of lifted off my eyes. You know, and at the same time that I saw so many people reach out to us and be like, oh, we met Jose when he worked in Las Palmas. Oh, we met Jose here. Oh, like, we remember suegras, so my mom's food, you know, and you guys help us with PTA. We help us in such a large community that I was like, so the good that we've done has actually paid off. It's paying off. People, and it's there. And at the same time, it was like, okay, then people are going to still be mad at me or not like me or kind of blame me that I had to shift automatically or differently because my husband died, you know, and they expected for me to change.
I can't work 16-hour days anymore. I'm the only parent.
And I remember seeing a TikTok that said, crazy things I did as a widow now. And that girl had said, like, people looking at me like I'm weird because I quit my job the next day after my husband died.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, well, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
What is she going to do? What is she saying?
Yeah.
You know, and months later, here we are.
Yeah.
And having lunch the other day with Chelsea, who is the owner of Chingona. She's been another amazing mentor.
Yeah. That's such a cool shop. Such a cool shop.
I love her shop and everything and her story. And she asked me, she's like, well, do you regret it? Do you regret quitting your job? And I was like, you know what? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. And is now this change, this adaptation of like, yes, I'm grieving so many things all at once. I'm grieving losing my partner for 15 years, you know, losing my job, losing family members that don't speak to me, losing friends or people that I thought that were my friends, you know.
Think about what you and I talk about.
Yeah.
And the parallels.
Exactly.
And I think that was such a big part of why I wanted you to come on and talk about it, is that I think everybody's navigating their own journey, and nobody's journey is the same as anybody else's. But the reality is so much of what we're navigating, and I always say, could you make it for idiot proof so that I understand? But if you kind of dumb it down and you look at the themes, very similar.
Oh yeah.
It's trying to be the best mom I can possibly be to my kid. You have 3. I say all the time, God was like, just give her 1. Like, this bitch can't handle it. Just give her 1. And I can't imagine that. I can't imagine, you know, I blew my life up by taking a totally different path. You know that. But when you say, I love that she asked you, do you regret it? And that your answer is no, because the reality is now that it's done and you're doing, you know, and I want to talk about what you're doing now. But I think we're so programmed to think that this is what success looks like. Yes. Here's what success looks like. And so then you spend the majority of your life, right, working towards what that success you were told looks like. And then you get there to a degree, right? And you start looking around and it's like, well, yes, but this isn't success, because now I'm single mom, 3 kids. And so I don't really care what my job title is. No. I want to be able to take my kids and pick them up from school. Yeah. I want to still be able to be part of PTA and supporting. Yeah. You were freaking Western Hills yesterday serving food to people. And I mean,
we're going to Wicks actually.
But I feel like when you look at that, and I do hope that you did genuinely feel the support, because I think that's what you do it because you want to do it. Right. But sometimes you can't help but wonder. I've told you, like, doing the podcast and all this other stuff, I'm like, is anybody even listening? Or people are like, what is this crazy lady yapping about again? And I think when you get those messages from people, oh my God.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that you got those messages, that you did feel that love and support. You touched on something that I want to, and you didn't say it full out, but we've talked about it. When you said your biggest thing was not wanting JoJo to feel like his life trajectory has to change. And we met last week and we were laughing and crying both. And you said it and I almost fell out of my chair and I was like, oh my God, I can't tell you how many people I wanted to like fight because they would tell AJ, well, you know, AJ, now you're the man of the house. I'm like, he's fucking 6.
Exactly.
No, he's not. He's my son, and I'm now the man and the woman of the house. But don't put that on him. And I remember, and you said it earlier here, without saying man of the house, but by saying, you don't want JoJo to feel like, well, I better let go of football because that's a lot more work for mom, or I'm not going to go away to school because I need to stay home and be. No, you want JoJo to live his life. But I loved that when you said that the other day, because I think that's something that so many, especially divorced moms, moms that have lost their partner, I know we all identify with that, because at the end of the day, this is a child. JoJo's not the man of the house.
And it's just the society expectations they immediately guard, whether it's good intentions or bad, you know? Like, I remember when one of the few times that my father came to my life, right?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to buy me a car. And I was like, oh, look, I found this car, blah, blah, blah. And his immediate response was like, no, you need a family car because you have your mom and your grandma. So you need a reliable car that can be comfortable enough for you to fit your grandmother. She's very elderly, for your mom, you know, and things that my mom never even mentioned to me, you know. My mom, she was everywhere, girl. Like, she was in chaparral, like wearing shoes size 8 when she's actually a 5, painting houses, digging holes, anything in order for me to do what I had to do and be where I wanted to be. And until this day, she's my ride or die, you know. So he comes here trying to say that. Then years later, which I laugh now, when I told him the news that I was pregnant with Jojo, you know, and he was very like, oh, concerned, you know, like, well, is this guy like interested, you know, you guys gonna be together? I was like, yeah, like, we're in a relationship, yes, like, it's happening. He's like, well, if not, then I mean, we're pregnant together. So now I'm like, okay, dude, imagine if I had to like, no, he's actually not in the relationship. I'll be without both of them, you know, like, what the hell? Which is, it's hilarious. But then I compare it to, the same expectations. You know, it's like,
you're not looking at Jojo to go buy a car when he turns 16 that he can get you and your mom around in, because that's his role.
For me, it's like, dude, you're going to start learning how to drive at 15. Just so you can at least help me to go buy milk. I don't want to drive anymore, you know? And even then, it's like, he's like, no, I don't want to drive. I was like, we'll talk in 2 years. Let's see if you still feel the same way.
He will. He will.
It's just like...
But talk about the epitome of the opposite viewpoint. Like, your job was, in your own mom's eyes, had nothing to do with taking care of she and your grandma. Your job was building and growing and becoming something that you were happy about. And then your father, who wasn't involved in the picture basically at all, shows up, and his whole idea is how you're gonna, your role is to take care of your mom and your grandma.
Exactly, you know, and that's what
it can be life changing to people. Because then you own that. And you mentioned earlier, that's the other piece. In all of these different roles, you lost you.
Exactly.
And so that's the other piece, is now it's figuring out who you are again. And
totally.
What do I like to do outside of a relationship? And where do I want to spend my time? And we talked really before we went live about how what's important at one point in your life and what you think. I mean, if you had told me 10 years ago that I would build this amazing career and then get fired, I mean, I would have been mortified. And what's funny is when it happened, I mean, it was horrific and it was sad and embarrassing and whatever. And then I realized this is the best thing that ever fucking happened to me. Like, now I can build something I want to build that's going to help support other women, that's going to help other people navigating some of this shit, and can make maybe a difference in the world. And I think with you, very similar in that, from a work perspective, you know, you work your whole life thinking I'm growing, I'm climbing the chain, or climbing the ladder, pardon me, I'm moving up, and you killed yourself there. And now, who gives a rat's patootie what your job title is, and the people that, we talked about that too, the people that do care enough that changes how they see you, they're not your fucking people.
Oh no. And I think, see, the difference is in your story and your journey, it hurt. For me, when I did it, was more of a, I'm numb. You know, right now I'm like, I've lost everything. So what is this? Like, as long as I don't lose electricity in the house,
was one more
we're
thing.
Okay. You know, it's kind of like my sense of that ripping the Band-Aid off. It's in a numbing position, you know, and that's why I try to like just go with the flow, which I'm learning and I'm getting on it, because I've always been an overthinker. But
same,
like, you know, and I'm like,
here's the plan, and if that doesn't work, then here's the plan, and if that doesn't work, then here's the plan.
And now I'm like, okay, like, hey, if it comes to like do this, do that, my mom raised me pretty good enough to know that we'll make it happen.
Yeah, find a way.
know, so part of me is relief that I'm feeling that kind of numbness, because I was at the time of my career where I was like, this is proving me once again my passion for higher ed, for students, for the community. And that everybody says like, well, you know everybody. And it's like, well, yeah, because
you really do.
I love knowing people. I love giving back and praising them and connecting them with others. And that's my thing.
That's a gift. And that's a gift that you have. And what's funny is there's, and I teased you about this the other day. You have what I can, and I'm probably going to piss some people off by saying this, but whatever. To me, there's influencers, right? And so they're always with the right people and they're posting the right pictures and everything's super perfect and, whatever. Yeah. And then there's people, and this is where I see you, that have a gift of connection and connecting people. And you have a gift of going, oh, you should know so-and-so because you're doing this and they're really good at such and such. Or, you get calls all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know anybody that this? Or, hey, my kid's looking for this. Or, hey, my mom needs that. Yeah. And you always know. But it comes from a genuine place of wanting to connect the right person with the right person. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the difference. You have influencers that just want the views and want the, it's bullshit, basically. Yeah. It's fake. And then there's people that do it well because they do it for the right reasons. And so that's, I think, the difference with you. And I see you all the time. You're always supporting other local businesses, especially female-owned businesses. Yeah. And you've done that as long as I've known you.
Yes. Always.
And I think, so we talked about incredible loss. Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Talking to me about it.
I like.
And we talked about kind of the impact of that on the family and your choice to pick yourself and your kids. Over a career and figuring out, and that takes grit too, honey, because when you work so hard to build something, to then hand the keys to the kingdom over to somebody else doesn't come easily. Again, hate to tell you you're strong, don't hit me. Thanks. But it takes that. Yeah. That's the grit. And so now, and you've shared the gratitude part, right? Being grateful for the people that have reached out, being grateful for the people that you do know that can help support in different ways. But I want to talk a little bit now about what you're launching and what you're building. Because this, to me, this has you written all over it. And I can't wait to see it explode. But talk to me a little bit about what you're doing now.
So after all this mental breakdowns and everything,
there'll be more, but it's fine.
I've always dreamt of doing event planning, always. Yeah. Obviously, at some point, it was like weddings. Now I'm just like, I'm never gonna, I don't want to.
So I'll make you laugh. I'm involved and try to volunteer when I can with Center of Hope. And so Nicole had told me, hey, I need your help volunteering for an event, such and such a weekend. I'm like, okay, sure. And I said, what time? She goes, I'll take anything. And I said, well, how long's the event? So I put it in my calendar. Well, I show up. It's the frickin' bridal expo. She didn't tell me. Amazing. She didn't say one damn word. I had no idea what it was. And so I told her, I said, if I volunteer for this crap again, I said, next year, I said, I'll do it. I'll always be here. But I said, next year, I'm going to have one of those big billboard signs behind me that says, don't do it. And I said, or you can allow me to work the quince side. It's up to you.
There you go.
But I'm right there with you on the wedding
and
thing.
And it's nothing on it. I think my dream has been like any other girlies type of like, this is like picture Sex and the City in the background.
Sure.
Like, oh my God, But because of my moments of realization with the grief process and everything is that, yes, like I need to give value to myself of like, I do know everybody. I do love making events and running the logistics. And that was something that working at Texas Tech was pushed to me more, which I'm grateful for, to acknowledge that I'm good at logistics. I'm good at planning. I'm good at making connections and running that and everything. And that's where I came with the idea of creating She Plans Co. And ideally is like, okay, so if I want to have events, my head is all over the place and I know everybody. Why not do it from my perspective, and chatting with another good friend that I had the opportunity to do it through, that I met through El Paso Mom, which is how I connected you with that area.
Well, and you're on,
yeah,
I'll stop you there. You're on the board now.
Well, for El Paso Mom, I'm their senior contributor, and I'm doing community connections. So we do that, and I joined the Moms on Board.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. So and we'll talk a little bit because El Paso Moms is the one that you said, hey, would you want to do this Takeover Tuesday? And I mean, me being me, and I tell you, if it's something in a boardroom, I know it. If it's healthcare, I know it. If it's anything in the influencer world, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned it, and of course I called Fernanda and team, and they were like, oh yeah, let's do that. But I had so much fun doing it, first of all, because I had never done a like kind of day in your life of where I just posted different things all day long. I had the best time with it. I met some really cool people through it. And then they did like a Christmas giveaway or whatever. And I did a signed copy of the book.
Yes.
And seeing all of the engagement on those and watching it grow, I'm like, that is a movement in and of itself.
And I believe we're going for 5 years, and I love El Paso Mom. I mean, and it was one of the things that I did back when it started as too. Well, let me write. Let me try how good I can be in writing and sharing my journey and being real. You know, I like to keep it real. And that's the whole reason when they say like, okay, I'm an influencer, what's my content? I cannot tell you what my content is because it's everything.
It's just life.
Yes. And with El Paso Mom, we needed that because
I think the team here is annoyed because that probably sounds a little bit like me. But anyway,
we need that connection as far as what we're going through, how we're basing it. And when I told them about you to take over, I was like, it's perfect because, you know, we're having all these people, interior designers, and we have this, and we're having this mom stay at home or working, you know, and that's what they want to see because it becomes inspiring.
It does.
You know, and you make amazing connections. And I cannot tell you how many people I've met through there that we have made great relationships. And Jessica, she's the owner of a boutique on Solana, was one of them. Yeah. And she's one of the ones, along with Chelsea, that kind of gave me that push of like, yeah, you should do this for a living. I mean, if you just
it's your passion.
Resign, if you know this, and obviously we're collaborating, and I can see that it's definitely your strength, like just go for it. Yeah. You know, and that's how the concept of She Plants Co. came up, you know, because especially Jess, she's like, oh my God, friend, yes. She's like, we have so many things already doing the day to day as far as business owners and schedules and issues and bills and, you know, getting
everything else they're doing.
Everything else. She's like, and we're trying to make an event still happen to drag more people and everything. And it's added pressure. So why not? So I was like, okay. Yeah. Why not? Let's do this. Yeah. You know, and then.
But even that, the way that you're doing that. So there's event planners that do, you know, and that's part of what you'll do. Yeah. But the way that you're approaching it with, you know, hey, let's collaborate. Like I have these people, you know, this person's going to speak. This person's going to have music. This person, we're going to have vendors, you know, all of these different things. And to me, it's just elevating. Again, it's doing what you do. It's elevating the people that you know, shining a light on their business or their service or whatever it is that they're doing. And so while you're planning these events and you're putting them on, you're also raising everybody with you.
Yes. And that goes back because I want to keep giving back to the community. You know, I want to keep proving and showing, reflecting that. So that's why the launching event that I'm kind of saying it as launching for the She Plants is Women Rising. I want to do it in March. It's Women International Day on the 8th, but I want to do it on the 22nd. Why? Because I want to make sure that we can all collaborate, and it's not only opening it to the community, reflecting, pushing that woman empowerment, but at the end of the day, having an extra pay it forward to the community, which is collecting donations that we can give to families in the city. So it's kind of like my brain with 1,000 like little tabs open and ideas and Pinterest board coming to life, and that's what I want, you know. And that's how I came on, as far as like, if I can get paid and you can get paid for providing this service, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that's the difference when we look at, and that's why I was talking earlier about what does success look like, right?
Yeah.
And how we're taught a certain thing. And so it's, it's money and titles and status. That's success. And then for whatever reason, paths change. Something happens, some people, they get a terminal illness or there's a terminal illness scare.
Yeah.
Something, there's a life shift. And I think when that happens, it's heartbreaking and it's terrible in the moment. And it takes every ounce of grit you've got to not just sit in the mud and forget about living. But it's such an opportunity because I think on the other side of that is where you realize what matters and what really fucking doesn't. And I think you finding your passion, and I talk a lot about, my purpose and feeling like I thought this was my path and this was my purpose. And now I'm like, oh no, this is what I'm here to do. And I think, through what you've already accomplished in this life, I can't imagine this going anywhere but up. But the fact that you're focused on how do I use this to give back? How do I use this? And I laugh when you talk about, people might think I'm crazy. And to me, if people aren't crazy, I don't want to fucking know them anyway. But I will say I identify with that. And I laugh all the time. I mean, people, I'm sure, I'm an MBA nurse that operated hospitals and was in healthcare leadership. And so now it's like, here I am over here. I wrote a book, I'm doing a podcast, whatever. It's totally illogical. And there's plenty of people I'm sure that are like, oh, I guess she finally fucking lost her mind. But I think for me, no, I found me. And I realized what's important to me and what's not. And the fact that because of life experience, just like you have something different now to contribute and a different way to give back.
Yes. And, and it's because right now for me, success is dropping off the kids on time. You know? Just this morning, I was like, damn it, I need to pay gas. And that totally threw off. So I was successful by making it on time to drop off my daughter so she could get breakfast, And things that at the past it wasn't. And even going back to some chats that we had, that is like, yes, we were successful and we were always there for backup. Yeah. And we were there while they were doing homework or anything, but we were not
But we weren't there.
We were on our computers. We were on our phones. We were, hold on, let me answer this call, this text, and now success is for me to see that my 3-year-old is like, oh, Mom, I'm going to miss you. When you come back, we'll go on the bike. Yes. That's success. So that's my goal, or getting her ready because she wanted to wear the hairstyle of one of the Demon Hunter movie things, So,
and you were there and present and able to do that.
Because it's kind of shifts the perspective, but also shifts who I am and how happy I am, and kind of building things and struggle that validates what we have. And even as a rebellious way of like, yes, I may not be a doctor in 5 years like I was hoping for, but I'll try and go for it in 10. Because that doesn't mean that there's like a last time or a bad time to do what you want, or that you can still make a difference because you don't have a title or anything, because you are making a difference. And that has been one of my biggest learnings in not only just myself with what we're going through, but with people like you and a lot of the people that I call you guys my tribe, because you guys filled my spirit. Yesterday I was drained. Like, I don't know what it was with the moon, but like we were just moody, and then we were tired from feeding 90 people at Western Hills and going to an evening. But, having that time with my friends from there at UTEP while we were planning this event, volunteering and everything, and seeing their mentorship and their guidance. And, this morning, like just rushing, but knowing that I was going to have some time with you and everything is like that connection that sense like, okay, they're my booster energy, so I can go up and keep going at it. And if I have to cry in the car because a song came out and reminded me of Jose, I will, But in the
but
way
I'm not
that
going to stop living.
I'm not going to stop. And it's going to give me that force that when I get home, if I break down, I don't have to hide it from the children. And they also see and acknowledge that it's okay to cry, to miss daddy, but that we're also okay to laugh and dance in the car, you know, and everything, because that's who he was. And that's what he loved doing. So it's kind of like, I tell you, like, I'm crazy, you know, but it's helping me do that. Like you said, like, screw what people say. Like, I know they're still watching, so let them watch. I cannot stop them. They're welcome to do it. As long as you don't mess with my kids, as long as you don't mess with my, with the strength that I'm trying to build on my own for them, like, you're welcome to keep watching as long as you want, you know, like,
and that's one of my biggest things is let them watch. Because in the end, you're living your life. You're living your life on your own terms. You're deciding what's important to you and what isn't. And you're finding those moments of joy. And I think when we go through something, that's the first step. And sometimes you have to be intentional about it. But it's finding those moments of joy again that begin to really shift things. And I think, like I said, I can't wait. Let me know how I can help with the thing in March.
Oh, you're already booked.
Oh, by the way. But I love that sort of thing because again, I'd love to be a part of that, and anything that you're working to build, you can count me in.
Thank you. Yes, that's a goal, you know, and ultimately it's just Allie 2.0, kind of like pushing Ana 2.0 to get that way. That's ultimately, as far as like, things have to get better, you know? And it's like, I kept giving. Now, like, I will always continue giving, but I want to make sure that I give to myself
also.
So that way
you got to be on your own priority list.
Yeah.
All right. So last question.
Yes.
I asked this question to guests when they come on, because I wanted something that was kind of thematic, because I love seeing the different perspectives. And so what I ask is a version of, tell me about like one belief or one idea that you held that you've either had to change your mind about or let go entirely to be Ana 2.0, to be where you are right now.
You know what? I think, and I have it on my phone, because that's actually my version to, like, I saw it and now I actually want to live by it, and I live by it. And it's, in a world of princess, be a chingona. And you know,
I love it.
That's my thing. Like, I'll stick to that. I'll be a chingona. Like, I can still be a nice person, but I can be nicer, and just so I can be who I am now. So that's
not faking it.
Nope. I fully embracing the chingona life.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Ana, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so
much. I
much.
appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
Can't wait to see what you build, and I'll definitely be at the event in March then.
Yay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining today. I hope you get some nuggets out of our conversation, and I'll see you in a week.